Hey, a couple of weeks ago, it was time to plant out the garden, and I didn't want to do that before I installed my drip irrigation system. Let's just get right into it. What I'm going to do is put in my drip irrigation system, and I laid my line out in the sun so that it could start, being a little easier to work with. And the kit that I got was from Drip Depot. It came with a really long stretch of 1/2 inch main line. It came with drip tubing and drip tape. It came with all the connections and the water connection setup that you need. And what that is the backflow preventer, an inline filter, a pressure regulator, and then the tubing adapter, which adapts your 3/4 inch garden hose down to the 1/2 inch that your main line is. This kit came with everything you need, including the hole punch, except for some cutters. And I still have a big piece left over. So if I need to run a main line down any other bed, I for sure have enough to do that again. And this system is so adaptable and expandable that I can easily do that if I need to. Okay, so now I need to put the elbow into the main line over here and the T into the second row to join the main line into the other main line. So you're meant to push. Okay, so you're meant to push these together like that. Ah, boy, I hope that doesn't leak. And then you turn it like that. And then do the same thing with this one. Okay, so that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. So I'm going to move over here and put the T in. The kit also came with like stakes, so I'm going to pin that over there where I want it to stay. These are the pins that it came with, and they will fit right over the top of the hose thingy and like hold it down. So I'm going to pin it down so it doesn't move around over here. Now I'm just going to pin that down on both sides. Okay, that was easy. Hope there's no leaks. We're going to see. Now I've got my main line in. I want to put this end assembly on. And the way that I showed you, I have it. So backflow preventer, inline filter, pressure regulator, tubing adapter to get this 3/4 inch fitting down to the 1/2 inch mainline tubing. And I'm just going to slip this in here like I've done with the rest. And I'm finding that instead of like pushing it in, like this rocking motion back and forth is making it go in way easier. Make sure everything is nice and hand tight, but you don't want to use tools on this. You just want to make sure everything is hand tight plus about a 1/4 turn. So that's what I'm doing there. This little lock nut here, I'm going to tighten it down. And now I need to connect it to my hose and flush out these lines and make sure I don't have any leaks so far. I will also be getting a quick connect for the hose so that I can just like click, click and be done with the connection. Actually, I just got an Amazon ding alert I think the quick connect I ordered might already be here. Yeah, it was. It was my quick connect. So this end goes on this side and this end goes on the hose. And then there's this little set screw here. You just kind of want to, again, just hand tight, just finger tight. And then to attach that, you just pull this little quick connect collar back and pop it on. Okay, so moment of truth. I'm going to go turn the water on. Let's go see if we have any leaks. Okay, so a little dribble coming out right here, which is normal. And then at the end of my hoses, which needed to be flushed out anyway, you're supposed to flush the system after you get everything connected. I have water coming out here and not as much water coming out here, so I've got a problem somewhere over here. Do I have a leak? No. Do I have a leak? No. Why don't I have as much water? Maybe I'll have more water coming out once I put the plug end on that hose. I bet that's what it is. And here's the little plug. I'm gonna put that in the end of that dealio. Let's see if that makes it go out of that line better. Got a little leak there, but it's coming out really well here, so I need to tighten this thing up, but otherwise I'm square. I got the end cap dealio on this dealio. Gotta go turn the water back on, and now I'll make sure there aren't any more leaks because I tightened up this one also. So water check, leak check. No leak. No leak. No leak. No leak. And actually no leak at the backflow. So, wow, that took about 25 or 30 minutes to put in. If you're looking for a drip irrigation system, I can't recommend Drip Depot enough, because this kit, which cost me around 120 bucks including shipping, this kit came with exactly everything that I needed. It came with the elbow connection, it came with one T, it came with two end caps, it came with all of the emitters in line I could possibly need, and I still have room to expand it a little more. Yeah, what a bargain, and it could not have been easier. We'll see if the rest of it goes as easily. It's the next day. I didn't get a lot more done out here, not because the system was hard to install. It was a total cinch. I just got distracted with other stuff. Anyway, I want to install this drip line in my garlic and onion bed, and the holes in this are drilled every 12 inches apart. I think you can get a different line, I think, that has it 10 inches apart. So I'm just gonna kind of measure out about how much I want to snake through that, and then I'll use this little barb thingy and the hole puncher to poke a hole in this and attach them together. I think that much will do it. I'll give it a little bit more. I'm going to put the little barb thingy on there, and you have to push it all the way in. There we go. Then I'm going to poke a little hole right here. See if I can do this and not cut myself. Oh, well, that was easy. And what you do is the hole you made, you get this little barb thing, and there's like a flange part. You push it all the way in. There we go. And now it won't come out. And then I'm just going to run this through here and try not to damage my plants while I do it. Well, that was pretty easy, and I know it doesn't look very great, but I'll come back and like kind of half bury this but not cover up where the emitters are, just so that, it doesn't look as bad and it'll hold the moisture in. I'm going to use this little goof plug thingy to plug the end of the line. And just like with everything else, this is just like snap it in. If it's a cold day for you and you have a hard time getting, the barb to go in the hole or this tubing to go onto your barbs, you can soak the end of these little thin hoses in some hot but not boiling water, and that'll soften it up a little bit to make it easier to put together. I'm not having any trouble today. The tomatoes are planted. Now I want to come back and hook their emitters and dripper line. I want to put one for each plant. I want to use the 1 gallon an hour emitters, and I also want to kind of bury this line and stake it down a little bit better. So I'm going to do that real quick. These lines are like UV resistant, but our sun is hella hot, and I actually want to get some more mulch and cover up as much of this as I possibly can. I'm not like really burying it. I just want to kind of be able to hide it from the sun and a little bit from view. What you do to get the water from the line to your tomato is measure out how much you're going to need. So I need about that much. Cut that piece of line off. Use your handy dandy poker thingy. Poke a hole in the line. And then you get one of these barbs. Poke the barb into the end of your tube. And you want to poke it in until it's all the way flush with that little flange, that little plastic flange. You want to poke it until it's all the way flush. And then take the other end of the barb and put it in the hole that you made in the line. There we go. And I'll do this for every tomato. I got all of the individual emitters in on my tomato plants. I put in an extra line to water whatever winds up being in the cinder blocks. I got those emitters on. Then over here on the pepper bed and the bean bed, I just put 2 long drip emitter lines because those don't need quite as much water. Also put in a line here to run down the potatoes, 2 lines again, and I need to plug in another drip line segment for the onions and garlic at the end of the bed and stake it down. But otherwise, everything's working really well. All of the emitters are working, no leaks. It's just working really, really great. I'm going to let it run for quite a little while. So yay, this was really easy. I'm really surprised at how easy it really was. This was a really successful day. The drip irrigation system was super easy to install. I really can't recommend Drip Depot enough. They're not a sponsor. I paid for this with my own money. It was $110. Shipping was free and super fast. I can get replacement parts really easily that fit with the system that I've gotten, and I'm just really hopeful that it's going to save me a lot of time and some money. We've had a lot of rain, so I haven't needed to use it very much, but I can't imagine that it's going to be a bad thing. And this is what the garden is looking like now. You can absolutely see how tall these tomatoes have gotten in just a couple of weeks. I interplanted with basil and some sage. I kind of accidentally just started a Mediterranean garden. The garlic and onions are doing great over here, and the peppers are doing pretty well over here. Some of the smaller ones aren't doing so great, but I have replacements, so I can always just take out the ones that aren't doing so well and replace them. My beans are coming up pretty nicely here. In about a week, I'll plant another succession row of beans. And the onions and garlic over here are really doing very well. Better than the ones in the other bed for some reason. And these potatoes are just out of this world. They're just so, so, so tall. We've gotten so much rain, the ground is just so wet. I don't want to walk over there and get everything muddy. But everything is doing well and looking good. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, whenever it is, wherever you are. Maybe one day I'll come out and take a nap in the garden. Are you a good boy? I'm a good boy.